Hello and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Jason.
You say you hate Washington's birthday or Thanksgiving and nobody cares, but you say you hate Christmas and people treat you like a leper. This week we recommend Gremlins.
And that's so true. I am the leper of the house right now.
Right? I know. This house is strictly not very into Christmas.
Well, you guys enjoy decorating for Christmas.
we do like Christmas. It's just there's just too much stuff to do on Christmas. It's just like, I don't know. I just want to buy like two people things, but it's like it's like you end up buying more people stuff. And then it's like, what do you want for Christmas? No one ever tells you what they want for Christmas. And it's like, well, then what are we doing here? Just tell me what you want.
I got a great out. I'm bad at gifts.
Yeah.
So my wife said, okay, well, I'll just get this one thing. We'll say it's from you. She got it. She bought it. It was a doll. It was a very expensive doll.
Yeah.
She didn't realize that it said will be mailed out or shipped out on November 30th of 2024.
No. What? So this was like a year pre-order?
Next year's, yeah. Christmas.
Oh, no. Did y'all cancel it?
No.
Oh, it's going to be a great Christmas next year. And now you have to redo this year's Christmas.
I do, actually.
But man, so first time watching Gremlins, did not know that you've never seen Gremlins before.
Never saw it. Is just one of the, kind of like the Goonies. I never saw that until I was an adult.
Yeah, Gremlins, I was an adult when I first saw it.
So like I grew up around this movie. I don't know if my parents like religious beliefs like
they're like, God didn't invent Gremlins, like, God so you can't watch it.
Gremlins, guys. But it was amazing. It was so good.
And it's wild. Especially when it starts, you're like, okay, it doesn't really make it. It's like, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's weird. It's kind of cheesy at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Like, the movie really kicks in when them Gremlins hit. And they're just
the best part.
They're just the best little shitheads you've ever seen in your life. It's so great. I love them. But so this movie was directed by Joe Dante. He did his first film. Joe Dante. He did like The Howling. You know, he's really good with like creatures and makeup and stuff like that. He did Piranha. That was his first film. Yeah.
Haven't seen Piranha.
I haven't seen the original Piranha. I like the Piranha 3D. That one's a
I
fun
love
movie.
Movies named after animals.
Just animals.
Are evil. Like bats. Piranhas.
I've never seen bats.
Cats.
And he also did The Burbs. Have you seen The Burbs?
Yes, I've seen The Burbs.
Oh, that movie. We got to do that next October. We got to do The Burbs. Get my wife on here. Written by Chris Columbus. He did the first two Harry Potters.
He also discovered America.
And yeah, he discovered America. He also discovered Macaulay Culkin on Home Alone.
Ooh, gross.
No. And he did Mr. Doubtfire. Mrs.
That's
Doubtfire.
Awesome.
Yeah,
man,
I know.
What a great.
Yeah, Chris. He
resume.
Also Goonies. You know, he's kind of all over like those like big kid films of the '90s.
Kid films. That's awesome.
Movie star Zach Galligan. He plays Billy. Phoebe Cates plays Kate. Love Phoebe Cates. You've seen a lot of movies?
I've seen a lot of stuff.
Fast Times, Ridgemont High, Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's ridiculous.
Don't worry, we're doing Drop Dead Fred eventually. I can't wait. That's like one of my wife's favorite movies.
He's so dirty. He's always looking up her skirts.
Wild. That movie,
yeah.
Man. It's just I don't know. It's like Gremlins,
Yep.
Drop Dead Fred. Good double feature, honestly. And then you had Corey Feldman. Oh, Pete.
Yeah, he's great.
Love Corey Feldman. He's great. So, which one was your favorite Gremlin? All right.
It's hard to say. I mean, of course, you got the cute one.
Yeah, Gizmo.
But then all the bad ones, man, there's so many.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's just
When in the Flashdance one, you really like the Flashdance.
I really liked the Flashdance.
Versus Flashdance, and then he starts break dancing and everything. It's so funny.
Beautiful.
I like the jazz one. You see that?
With the bowler hat?
I like the jazz one, but like the jazz one wouldn't be so great if it wasn't the one with the little puppets next to it that comes up. It's like, what is this guy doing?
he's like the one that's like trying to make everybody laugh.
Yeah,
and
it's
have
like,
a good
look,
time.
I just love it. There's up to no good, and that's why I love Gremlins. They're so wild. They look so cool. I don't know. I don't
They did
know.
look cool, and all the little miniature stuff that they had to fit their hands and stuff. It's just like, where did y'all get all this stuff?
It's like how I got some pretty good
the
facts
bar for
about it.
kids.
So we'll actually go in about why is she just
Yeah, God bless her.
yeah,
She's doing her best.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So the makers of the film wasn't sure about making so many Gremlins models. So they thought about using monkeys in gremlin masks.
Wow.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been bad.
But when they tried to put a mask on a monkey for the test, the monkeys just destroyed Joe Dante's office.
No shit.
God.
What? I would have loved to be in that room brainstorming this idea.
Like, holy crap, dude.
And nobody stopped him.
Such a terrible idea. Such a terrible idea. Some monkeys don't like being in masks, obviously.
I would say all monkeys probably don't.
I want to know, who do you think voiced Gizmo?
I have no idea.
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, I never would have guessed.
Yeah, it's wild. So I guess like in his stand-up comedy before he became just like the host of 1,000 TV shows.
Yes.
He used he had like a little baby voice that he used, and apparently he used like in a bunch of other little things too. I guess he's like a pretty decent like voice actor.
Yeah.
And so most of the Gremlins were performed by Frank Welker, who voiced Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then you also had Michael Winslow do some of the stuff from Police Academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I can't remember. I've only seen the first Police Academy.
Foghorn.
I actually thought.
I can't remember.
Actually, I watched the first. I've only seen the first one, and I watched it kind of as an adult, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Not as good as it was.
It's probably like one of the sequels probably end up being better. I feel like that's how some of the older comedies can be. Yeah, probably. So there is a Gremlins 3 script. Chris Columbus did.
Oh.
It's apparently much darker.
Awesome.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either.
I need them being as goofy as possible.
That's the best part.
That's what I need.
I feel like in this movie, they go from the Gremlins had me on an emotional roller coaster because they're like super cute and then like a little obnoxious whenever whenever a few more pop up and then they're scary for a moment. Like they're scary as hell.
They're like they're literally straight up trying to kill people.
Yes. And then they
successfully kill people.
Yeah, but then they're just amazing.
Hey, you put Snow White in front of them, they'll go crazy. Hi-ho. I can't. I need you to watch Gremlins 2 as soon as possible. Tonight with your kids. It'll change your life and their lives.
Okay.
This was filmed on the same Universal backlot as Back to the Future.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's the same town. They're just covered in snow.
Right, yeah, it looks very familiar.
You can see the movie theater. It's like the same. They just kind of filmed it in different ways to make it look a little different.
Cool.
Originally, Gizmo and Stripe, they were supposed to be the same character. But Steven Spielberg said, no, Gizmo has to be the hero.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's not even that much. He's not in the movie that much.
And he really doesn't.
It's really all Gremlins.
Yeah. He really doesn't do a whole lot to save the day.
So apparently the Mogwai versions, puppets and models, they kept breaking down. So they couldn't, the crew hated them. Oh. The crew hated Gizmo. No. It's like every time they get a good shot, he'd break down. And then like the next shot, they'd be like, dang it didn't work as well as it did the first time. So they have to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying.
Yeah, I was like,
Didn't they use Furbies instead?
Yeah. Oh, also a fact about that. So Warner Brothers sued Furbies because they're like,
they probably should have.
And the people who created Furby was like, yeah, you're right. So they paid like a seven figures more.
Oh wow!
I was like, wow. And they said apparently they made they revamped the Furbies to make them look a little different, and they look exactly the same.
Yeah,
it's wild. Yeah,
they never changed.
So studio execs and Steven Spielberg did not like the Phoebe Cates Santa speech. They wanted it cut, but Dante obviously got to leave it in. The execs were like, "Is this supposed to be funny or sad?"
It was. I think it was funny, but also sad in the wrong way.
It's just funny because like when she's doing the speech, the guy's like trying to like pick up the phone to see if it works and just doing stuff, and then eventually he's like, "What the hell are we talking about?"
Your dad was an idiot.
It's like, oh god. It's like by the end of the speech, like if I wrote the script, I'd be like, I would just put like for Billy, like I don't even know what to do with this information. Kate, like I don't know what this is, like how I wish you just told me this earlier, not when there's gremlins around.
Yeah, it's a weird time to have this conversation.
Crazy. It's like, what a tragic story, and it's so hilarious. And my last little fact here, Tim Burton was originally going to direct it.
Well, what happened?
I don't know.
Oh.
My internet stopped working at this point and only loaded that little fact. But that would have been a pretty good movie.
Like, could you imagine if Gremlins had the internet?
Oh, man.
Had Wi-Fi?
It would just be, there's so many Amazon packages stolen. God dang it. All right, man, you want to hop into the plot?
Yes.
Let's go. So the film opens in what appears to be like a Chinatown, I guess.
I thought he was actually in China.
No, it's just supposed to be like Chinatown. It definitely seemed like he was in another country.
Yeah, I guess because I've never been to Chinatown.
We meet Rand Peltzer, is an inventor looking for a gift for his son Billy. He also narrates the movie, even though he's like in it for 5 minutes.
Yes, I think I like this guy's gusto.
Yeah, he's great. He's got his little
inventor.
His bathroom buddy.
That's cool as fuck. Yeah.
He's like, hey, you know what? What if I just made something square and just put everything on it possible?
Why don't we tape a bunch of shit onto this
It's like he's
box?
just inventing things that don't need to be invented. It's like it's already a Swiss Army knife.
Very specific stuff. Yeah. And then huge.
Yeah.
And you can't carry it with you anywhere.
Right. So he goes into a weird like Chinese shop looking to sell an invention called the bathroom buddy.
I was really afraid of this part. I thought that was about to get real racist.
Oh no, that's for the neighbor.
That's yes, okay.
It's his little bathroom, but it's a stupid dumb invention. He hears something cooing in the background. And you hear like this dragon gong. Like so funny. But so he's showing off his little bathroom buddy too. He's like, oh, if you need to brush your teeth, do this, do this. He's like, here, oh, and then he like squirts a bunch of toothpaste on him. It's like, I haven't quite figured that one out, but don't worry. It's like, dude, none of your inventions work. Make sure they work before you go to try to sell them.
He's an idea man.
But while he's like making his pitch, he continues to hear like cooing and goes to check out like what it is. And like, we don't really see it yet. It's in shadow. It's a little, but we'll soon to learn that it's Gizmo.
And he's cute.
Yes. He tries to buy the guy, but he's not for sale. Asian guy's like, nah.
He's like, no, I just leave him in that cage all of the time.
I just make sure people want to buy them, but I don't let them buy it. But then there's this, I guess the son of the Asian guy. He tells him to wait outside, and he's like, here, I'll get them for you. We need the money. Because what we'll soon to learn is that this is the poorest, I guess, America's ever been. There's only like 3 people that own anything, especially in the small town. The movie definitely centers around, I don't know, capitalism a little bit, kind of.
I mean, that's Christmas for you.
It's all about a guy trying to sell his inventions to make money. This
murder machines, more
this one property owner who just owns everything, Miss Deagle.
Oh, she sucks.
It's wild. So and then after that scene, we get to hear the rules. 1, keep him out of the light. It will kill him.
He's a
2,
vampire.
Don't get him wet. 3, most important, never feed him after midnight.
He's a very hungry, dirty boy.
Can I ask you something? When do you consider after midnight?
I guess.
And when do you consider before midnight?
I think it starts in New Zealand. So if you go off that's like 10 hours ahead of us.
So the Gremlins are on New Zealand time?
I think you have to, right?
Or is it just whatever?
That's when times begins, I think.
Or is it just whenever whatever time zone the Gremlins are in,
it's
their body morphs to that?
Yes, I think that's what they're getting at.
So when can you feed them? Is it like after 6 a.m.?
I don't think you feed them at all.
Well, you have to feed them a little bit.
I don't think you're supposed to.
It's like if it's nighttime after midnight.
I would never feed it.
Is that when you can't feed it? But then when it's daytime after midnight, you can feed them then?
I would never feed it because I'm afraid of what might happen.
It's like, I'm sorry, Gizmo, you starved to death now.
Yes.
My bad. But then we arrive in Kingston Falls, USA. It's Christmas time. It looks amazing, and it's what I wish our Christmases look like, but it's just wet and dreary.
Yeah.
We see our protagonist, Billy, trying to start his car, but it won't budge. His neighbor, who hates foreign products.
Everything foreign.
It comes by. Just seriously, dude, this guy just... And then it's like, well, go buy American Car, dude, and steer your tractor.
Yes.
Little snowplow.
I kind of wish I had a snowplow to drive around.
That would be nice, especially during the winter when we get our 2 ice storms. We don't get snow, but we get ice. We see Billy. He's with his dog. They're walking to work. First of all, Billy, put your leash on your dog. It would save you a lot of trouble with Miss Deagle.
They didn't have leash laws back then.
Well, this is how you get your dogs ran over, okay?
Yeah.
Why does he take his dog to work? Like, you work in a bank. Have a brain, Billy. Billy messes everything up.
Yeah, he's not good at work. But he does have a nice little bed, like cubby on
That's true.
for the dog.
Yeah.
Which, if I could bring my dog to work, that'd be fun. Just have your little buddy all day.
I bring one of my cats to work. That'd be fun.
That would be hilarious.
Just see my cat like on top of a palletizer.
Just knocking shit off, trying to kill you.
Like the boxes are coming down the line. He's just like batting at every single one as it goes by, constantly messing up the lines.
That'd be adorable.
So we see him walk through the whole town square to the bank that he works at. He hides his dog under a desk, which he seems like a good dog, but
and they haven't said anything to him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's normal. It's just Miss Deagle.
They're letting him do this.
Yeah,
it's not like this is a secret.
It seems like the bank manager doesn't allow it, but because he's like, why is that in here?
He must not come out to the floor very much.
Yeah. And we see a girl he works with, Kate. They like each other, obviously. She asks him to sign a petition so that the local tavern doesn't get taken down by the bank owner, or taken away, I mean.
Where are you going to get drunk?
I know. Kate? It's like you have one place. I guess you just got to go get drunk at home. And then we meet the worst woman in the history of the world.
Sucks so much.
Mrs. Deagle. She's a curmudgeon who owns most of the properties around town. She is mean to the townspeople, like the little
the family,
the wife and the two, or the woman and the two kids outside. It's like, oh, can you please ask for like a lease or like an extension on our loan? And she's like,
Mrs. Scrooge in it.
Yeah, and then like she walks in and like one of the kids to the mother's, I'm hungry. The mother, me too. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. What are we doing? The tone of this movie is all over the place and I love it. So we learned that Mrs. Deagle's little Christmas
ceramic
snowman got destroyed by her dog, which I'm not even sure that his dog actually did it.
I know. I wish they would have shown that.
She's mad and says she wants his dog not to like
live anymore.
It just wants to send him to shelter, which would be nicer than what she would do, because she would like strangle it to death or something.
No, she would make it have a slow, painful death.
Yeah. And
this woman is a maniac.
The dog picks up on it and says, I'm just going to rip her face off and attacks her. And then she pretends to have a heart attack. Which we think is fake, but then it seems like she actually has a heart problem
she's
later.
Old as hell.
Yeah.
But I love the word curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon, yeah, I know. Word. When I wrote that down, I was like, hell yeah, that's going to just roll off the tongue. And so then old Billy, he goes over to the local tavern. I'm trying to say, who's the guy that he's like the general manager of the bank? Judge Reinhold. I love Judge Reinhold. He's like the douchey, like junior general manager or whatever.
Yes, he sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the dad
Gerald.
in Liar Liar.
Yeah.
With the weenie whistle.
He's always such a good douchebag. It's great. But yeah, he runs into Gerald at the down tavern. He says that he was almost fired, but for some reason the manager said, I guess he has a soft heart during Christmas.
Oh wait, I got it there wrong. It's not Liar Liar. Wasn't it the Santa Claus?
Is that what it is?
With Tim Allen?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Almost put that on when decorating the tree.
I think so. Okay, sorry about that.
So we learned that Billy supports his family, I guess because the dad doesn't do anything but just waste money trying to go around and doing inventions.
He's not around a lot.
Yeah. And then we see Kate. She works at the pub with no pay just to help out.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Kate's an angel. She's an angel in this movie.
I'm just gonna serve alcohol and get my ass grabbed for free.
Just for free, just because I'm nice.
God, nobody's that nice.
So Billy goes home and starts helping his mom with cooking. I have to ask you one question.
The egg machine?
No. Before the egg machine. Did you see how many onions she was cutting up? Dude, it looked like she cut up like 10 onions. And then she's watching, what is it? It's a Wonderful Life. And the son's like, what's wrong? It's like, oh, it's just the movie. I'm like, no, maybe it's the 5,000 onions you cut up in front of you. Like, what are you talking about? What are you eating? Just onion soup?
Maybe they're making onion rings.
God, it was wild. Because when I watched it Monday, I was like, wait a second. That's a lot of onions.
For a second there, I thought they were going to use something. You remember in Arrested Development, the machine that they have to make cornballs, the cornballer?
Oh, yeah, and it just constantly burns.
I feel like that should be a device in this kitchen.
Maybe that like inspired him. Yeah, because he goes to crack some eggs, and it's just like, dude, it's not. It's not gonna work. Just don't use it.
They know that nothing works, but they keep using it.
Your dad's not there. You don't have to do this. Just don't use it.
But I think they kind of like it. How fucked up it is.
I think they just really like just bashing on the dad. Just like, can you believe this idiot? Stupid inventions that don't work. It's wild.
And I felt like that chicken thing, the egg cracker, I think was gonna take his eye out. Or something.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to make that work, but it's also honestly not too hard to crack an egg. I do it all the time. It's so easy. So his mom starts telling him Mrs. Deagle calls, but gets interrupted by his father coming home. His father gives him a gift and tells him to go ahead and open it.
Like, he shakes it immediately.
And he's like, what is it, a dog? And then starts shaking it. It's like, don't shake it.
He's like, oh, no, don't shake it.
Don't shake it. He opens it, and it's the cutest little guy you ever see. It's a little Mogwai. Yes, and I love his reaction. It's really neat. Really. It's like, what?
Neat.
Nobody asked the question, what is this? What is this? Where did it come from? Is this, do people know about this? Is this something you would see every day?
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I suppose.
I just like, nobody asks questions, the right questions here. His father tells him that he just calls him Gizmo. I love it. The dog's like, what is this? I love this thing. I hate it and I love it. His mom takes a little picture of the guy, and the father tells him like the rules, because once he takes a picture, he's like, wah!
Yeah, he freaks out.
And so he tells him the rules. No light, no water, and no shoes, no problem. And in Billy's room, he's playing with Gizmo. It's so cute. He can hum tunes that Billy plays.
It's got perfect pitch.
He puts a little Santa hat on him, and I just. At that point, I just start seizing up because of the cuteness. And then he like flips a mirror, and he like causes Gizmo to like flip out, and he hurts his head and puts bandages on him, and it's so adorable.
It is, yes.
Like, if I was Gizmo at this point, I'd be like, all right, I don't like Billy, actually. So, because he shakes me in a little box. The mom shoots me with light, and then he knocks me over.
Yeah, there's some growing pains.
Yeah. And so the next morning, Billy gets up to get juice, and he's scared of his dad's juicer.
That thing is scary.
Why use it? It just explodes all over him.
Yeah, and gooshes out sludge.
It's like, just don't use it. Just buy some juice.
Oh, man.
I'd be like, Dad, I want to, or I'd be like, Mom, secretly for Christmas, I want a refrigerator in my room that I can hide from my dad, so I can just buy normal products so I don't have to make things with his. So Pete comes over, old Corey Feldman, who comes over. He works at a Christmas tree thing, and he just has like a Christmas tree costume that he constantly wears. It's great.
It's always sticky.
Yeah. Pete comes over, and he brings them their Christmas tree. Billy shows him Gizmo, who is watching movies. It's so cute.
Oh, yeah, they're always watching old time.
Yeah, it's nothing but old movies. Billy gets Gizmo to sing. But Pete accidentally spills water on Gizmo, and little fur balls pop off his body.
Fucking idiot.
The thing is, like, I come home all the time to those little things.
They don't start blowing up. Like,
no, they're just cat hair. Just
God.
cat. This hairballs from cats.
Wouldn't it be wild if that's how cats reproduce?
Yeah, just
their hairballs turn into more cats.
God, we get a new cat like every day. We have 3 of them, and they're the hairiest things you've ever seen in your life. But they pop out, and then they turn into little Mogwais.
It's hilarious.
But what I love about them is that they already got like little.
They're already
like shit-eating grins.
Yes,
like,
they're all mischievous.
Just wait till you go to sleep. I love them. I love them.
And it's so cute how they all sleep in the same little bed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's great. So Pete goes to touch Stripe. He's the one like the white mohawk. Love Stripe so much. But he tries to bite his hand, and Pete just is quickly unimpressed. It's like, oh, no, it's neat. seriously, it's neat. And goes to read a comic book. Like, what are y'all talking about? If you see a puppy, you just like love on the puppy for an hour. You see this unknown creature that's the cutest thing you've ever seen. And it's like,
it sings.
It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's whatever. It's like a little human or whatever.
Let me go back to my comic books. Yeah.
So he goes to tell his dad. His father shows him that he added a razor to the bathroom buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
And it also doesn't, the liquids that shoots out of it don't work for the razor either. Just gets all over him. Billy tells him he got Gizmo wet and that Giz multiplied. I called him Giz in my notes. That's cool.
Giz.
All the little guys, they've like opened up all the Christmas toys and they're all just, you got Stripe and his gang just like playing some little tiny arcade. Just like, yeah. And then Gizmo's over there just like playing a little trumpet and then Stripe's like, shut up. Like spits on him. It's like the grossest little spit. Ew. I love it. I love that they had little, like, where did they get what are these instruments? Like, who did you buy these Christmas toys for?
I know. They're more like
were they for Billy? Like,
yeah, I don't think any of these presents are kid appropriate for his age.
Did they go and steal some Christmas presents? Like, what is this?
It's like a bunch of presents you find at like the truck stop.
Yeah, it's wild. So then we see all of the Mogwai. They're sleeping in a suitcase like looking thing, and it's adorable. The cutest thing we ever see. We hear Billy's dog whining outside, and he goes to check it out, and he's like tied up in some Christmas lights.
Holy shit, yeah.
So I get it if they're gremlins, but they're still Mogwai. How did they get that dog into the Christmas lights?
Teamwork.
Like, how did that dog?
It makes the dream work.
I'd love to see those little guys come and try to put my dog in some Christmas lights. They would not make it.
They just have an advanced knowledge of pulley systems.
I guess so. It's like maybe they drugged the dog. I don't know. They don't have the legs or the reach to get him up there. So they get him out, and the whole family is chatting. We see the father. He's got this weird like hammer thing. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, y'all already have nail guns at this point in the horror plot.
I think they do. And also, they probably also have those mechanical hammers that they use on construction sites.
Yeah, probably. He's just inventing things that don't need to be invented.
I mean, it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks like it'd be a great like murder weapon. Or like a torture device. Like you put someone's hands on the thing and it's like starts hammering.
Oh, man. Great for nuns.
Yeah, I really wish I saw the... What?
Well, you know how they slap your hand with a ruler all the time.
All right.
But it's not hammers.
So they don't know how the dog got outside. Billy thinks Mrs. Deagle did it. And then we also see like this crazy fly swatter, and
that was kind of wild.
Yeah,
you could probably kill a fly with that.
Yeah, maybe cut it in half more than like slap it up.
If you're surrounded in a cloud of flies.
And then you also got the instant coffee machine, which actually does eventually become a thing. It's called a Keurig.
Yeah,
his just
I guess
spits out goo.
You could just use a regular coffee.
I want to know like what his was doing. Because if you put water in something and the brown liquid, and why did it come out as slime?
It was motor oil.
Yeah, it looked like motor oil. It's like, dang it, I put the motor oil in the wrong part.
No, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
We got mixed together.
But something I do like about this scene is like, it seems like the father and mother have a really nice relationship.
Yeah, I think that's
really cute.
I think she likes that he's an inventor. She thinks it's adorable.
Well, I heard her say, it's like, well, my son makes all the money. My husband's an inventor. He's mostly gone. I just chill at the house watching cutting onions.
I'll just chill in my murder kitchen.
Like, I think when she saw all the different Mogwai, she's like, I wonder how many onions they can cut. So Billy goes to the local school and shows like this teacher. I didn't get his name. Shows the teacher Gizmo and one of the things. I don't think it was Gizmo, or was it Gizmo? I think he took Gizmo.
No, he took one of the extras. I think.
Yeah, and he shows him what happens when he gets water on him. I love it because he's about to drop the water. He's like, no, and then like drops the water on it. And the teacher wants to keep one of them with him. And I love this part when there's two, and there's one on the outside of the box and one on the inside of the box, and they're both just like, hello, just knocking on the box. Hello. It's so cute. Oh my God, I love it. Billy stops by the local tavern to meet Kate. The neighbor is there, like super drunk. This is the neighbor that hates foreign cars and stuff. I don't think he hates foreigners. He just doesn't like the things they make.
Yeah, he's a World War II vet.
He's complaining about all the foreign cars. He says foreigners put gremlins in their products, and it's like,
yep,
you know,
truth.
It's like it seems like this guy, like the ending of the movie and this part of the movie, is like, so wait, so do we think that they actually put gremlins in things, or what is it? So Billy and Kate, they're walking together and past some like carolers. Kate seems like she's very caring. Kate says people get very sad during the holidays. She says, while some people are opening up the presents, other people are opening up their wrists.
Oh, man. Thanks, Kate.
It's like, if I was Billy, I'd be like, man, you got
melodramatic
some stuff to work on, girl. Like, you know what? I'm gonna get you some therapy for Christmas.
She's opening up bottles, getting wasted.
Kate tells him she doesn't like celebrating Christmas. He pushes and she gets upset. And the line I said earlier to start the film. And before they depart, he asks Kate if she wants to go out on a date together, and she would love to. Aww.
I was gonna waterboard myself later.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out.
Yeah, I was actually going to find some Mogwai to just like hang me with some Christmas lights, but I decided not to. So we cut back to the teacher at school. He takes one of the Mogwai's blood and it hurts him, and it looked maybe a little sad. It's a little sad.
He's doing these
because he's just like screaming like.
Do you think does he have the equipment to do tests on blood?
He's a science teacher.
He's a scientist, I guess, at a school.
Know. It's definitely a small town school.
He's got a microscope. I
guess. I don't know. Man.
He's not like a virologist.
He just wants to find one thing so he can say, I found this.
Yeah, what if he just took off to this and just made it his discovery? And yeah, he would be
That's what I would have
fucking
done.
Rich.
I would have immediately been like, I'm going to the White House. They have to know.
Gizmo for president.
So Billy and Gizmo, they're chilling, just like the old boys do. The other Mogwai are going like ape shit. He decides to get them some food before, because they're just like, it's like, what? And so he's like, oh, it's before midnight. Let me hurry up and feed him. Definitely. So he goes to the refrigerator, opens it up, and what do we see? A goddamn like huge plate of chicken that could feed like 7 families. And it's like, why do y'all have that many cooked chickens uncovered in your refrigerator? It's like, what? But the little guys, they start devouring the chicken. It's so gross. I love it. It's slimy. And back at the school, the teacher is eating a sandwich, and he leaves, and he's like, all right, I'm done for the night. Leaves the sandwich out. I'm like, why did you take one bite of a sandwich and leave it out? I
don't get it.
Yeah, it's like, that's something that infuriates me.
I'll put that in my pocket.
When people, there's things that infuriate me in movies, and it's when people just say, go to a bar and say, I want a beer, and the person just hands them something like, you're at a bar, they have so many.
Yes.
There's so many different types of beer, you have to say something else. And then when people like make some food and they take like one bite of, it's usually breakfast. It's usually like, oh, someone's got to leave, and
on the way to school.
They make this huge breakfast, and then they take one bite. It's like, all right, thanks, we'll see you later. And it's like,
fucking asshole, get back here and eat this shit.
What are you talking about? Eat this stuff. Or when people, they light cigarettes, take like 3 puffs, and then like throw it out. That happens in like every cop drama. And I'm like, why did you even light it? You're not going inside anywhere. Just keep smoking your cigarette.
Gotta look cool.
I don't know. That's like that. And whenever I watch game shows, something that drives me crazy is like the audience noise. And like there's this running bit in the house that I have where I'm just like, how many? It's like, there's no audience in this studio. There's no audience. There's got to be no audience. And Natalie's like, why do you care so much about if there's an audience or not? I'm like, because they're lying to us and they don't have to.
Filmed in front of a live audience.
It's like, I just wish they'd say, put up on screen, there is no audience. Or whenever you watch one and there's a small audience, but it's like a roarous crowd, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, they just have people, but they still use the sounds that recorded
I'm like,
sounds.
There's like 30 people in here. This is not a stadium. So that's my rant. But anyways,
really grinds my gears.
The teacher leaves a sandwich in the Mogwai. He's just like, I'm going to eat it and turn crazy. And he does.
Turn into a slimy egg.
Yeah. And the next day we see all these gross looking cocoons.
God, they're so gross.
Him and his mother are trying to figure it out. He realizes that his clothes.
It must have been The Mogwai. No shit.
No, he doesn't even say that. I love it because he's like, whenever he's like, oh, I didn't feed him after midnight. Looks over at the clock like, hey, wait a second. Picks up the cord, like, looks at his mom. What's going on here? Hey, I think it's obvious that these Mogwai tricked you. I just love how dumb he is. What's going on here? What could have happened? And so at the school, Billy and Pete and the teacher are looking at the Mogwai in the cage because it's all cocooned up. He says they're going through metamorphosis.
Menopause.
Yeah, menopause. What is it? Pete says like, or the teacher's like, yeah, it's like they're going through changes. And Pete's like my mother.
Oh, got her.
Oh, God. So back at the bank, we see Mrs. Deagle walk in. She keeps on about the dog, and it's like, just kill her, whatever. At school, we see the teacher watching a video in class. The Mogwai cocoon starts to kind of open up, and so do the rest. Gizmo is hiding in a helmet.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, like, push down the visor.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. They didn't have one. I thought it was like, oh, man, they really missed the chance here. So after the students leave, the teacher checks on the cocoon and sees that it's hatched. He calls Billy, and he's on the way. The teacher is looking for the Mogwai. He tries to lure it out with a candy bar. The now gremlin attacks his arm. I guess this kills him.
This just kills him
just
right away.
Murder, like stabs him in the butt with some sort of syringe. What did this teacher have in there?
Oh, this is also a really great Snickers commercial.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Like it'd been great if you ate the Snickers and turned back into a regular Mogwai. Yeah. So back at the house, we see the other gremlins throwing darts at Gizmo. I love these guys. The mom goes to check out what's going on. She's got like a knife. She's just like straight up, I'm in a horror movie. Let's go. Love the mom. Mom's like, let's go. Billy calls and tells her to get out of the house and that Billy's on the way home. And then we see the gremlins start terrorizing the mother, but the mother like kills 3 of them. Yes. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, I guess she's got like a mixing bowl. But, like, instead of mixing it, also, I guess, blends. Because it just blends the head of that one guy. And then she just, like, beats the other one with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then she sprays one and throws it in the microwave and it just explodes. It's great. It's so violent and great.
It's amazing.
And funny and
oh, man, I love that.
Awesome.
I love that part. It's just terrorizing these little guys.
Let's see what happens. She goes to the living room and she thinks there's something in like one of the stockings, but then she like backs up to the Christmas tree. And I guess it's because the gremlins are hilarious and creative. He puts like 2 Christmas lights over his eyes to make it look scary and then like attacks her. And then like they're like fighting with a Christmas tree on it. And then next thing you know, you see Billy running in and the gremlins somehow turned over the mother and just like choking her with Christmas lights. It's like, God, these things do not mess around. And earlier throughout the film, every time someone would come into their house, they'd close the door and like one of the swords would fall off that they had like right next to the door, which is terrible placement. But specifically great for this scene.
Yes.
Because he just takes the sword and just like
that sword.
Chops the gremlin's head off and like, throws into the fire. It's awesome.
He burns.
It's awesome. And that's when the movie just says, this is good. But they see Stripe, and Stripes is like, like blows his nose on the curtains. I love their little laugh.
Yeah, they're so funny.
Like type of laugh. So good. I wish I could laugh like that. But yeah, Stripe, man. He bad motherfucker.
He's bad. He is bad. And he's like the leader of the group, isn't he?
Yeah, he's he's got charisma. He's a leader, you know?
It's kind of like all their daddies also.
Yeah. So Billy takes his mom to the doctor's house. He then goes back to check on Gizmo, who's locked in a laundry chute. Poor Giz.
Always getting stuck in something.
Yeah. Billy goes to find Stripe. He follows footprints to the YMCA. And it's just like he's just searching around. He goes into this electro box because he hears something and like Stripe runs out. And then it's like Billy falls down. And even though Stripe could have just immediately jumped into the pool, Stripe's like just like walks up like boo, scratches the crap out of him and then just like cannonballs down into the water.
Yeah, and it all starts bubbling and boiling. Yeah.
And then Billy's just like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I don't want to get blamed for this.
Pool turns green. It's awesome.
It's gross. Yeah, they're just multiplying like crazy.
And then he tries to tell the cops about him, but the sheriff and them are just like laughing at him.
And the drinking on the job.
Yeah, well, it's Christmas Eve, you know. Ain't nothing happening in this small town with like 10 people in it. So the deputy, do you recognize him?
No.
He's Mike from Breaking Bad, Mike Herman Trout.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I was like, oh, snap. Then we see all the gremlins coming into town. It's like this cool stop motion shot.
That was fucking cool.
It was awesome. I loved it. And like whenever because first Stripe comes out of the darkness and you just see his little mohawk, like his white mohawk. And it's like, let's effing go.
Just coming at you like a flood.
Yeah.
So cool.
And so now we're at the neighbors, like the Murrays or whatever, or Murray's house. His TV starts messing up because of the gremlins. And he's like blaming all the gremlins. It's like, there's gremlins everywhere. He goes to check the antenna, but there's like they moved to his garage or whatever. And then he hears the rustling in the garage and the gremlins are on his snowplow and it's awesome. Yes. They ram it into his house. There's a gremlin in my cab. The wife's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's the little gremlins in the cab, lady.
Because this guy's been screaming about gremlins and everything.
And then they look like they get run over, but I guess they don't die because they call the cops in the later scene. I was like, man, they just straight up killed them.
Yeah, that would have been great. I think it would be cool if he had an actual gremlin, like the car.
I've never seen a gremlin car.
They're pretty ugly.
Are they?
They're supposed to be kind of cool.
I'm gonna look that up real quick. Oh, I actually kind of love this car. Are you kidding me? Dude, I'll just put my surfboard in that.
Picturing a different car.
No, I mean
it's a hatchback.
It's like an ugly, weird hatchback.
Okay.
It's like it wants to be a cool car, but then also wants to be an ugly car in the back.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be kind of fast.
I kind of like it. Actually, I don't kind of like it. I actually love it. I want to see if I can buy one.
It's gonna be your new car.
Yeah. We see a guy putting mail in a mailbox. It's like a priest, I guess. And a gremlin throws his mail back at him.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
He just spits it back out at him.
And another guy, he like goes in to put a package in there, and the gremlin takes his hand. It's like they're literally just there to just mess with people. It's so good.
Yeah, that's really great.
And then we see another gremlin messing with a stoplight, causing wrecks. Cut to Gizmo being played with by the sheriff. He's waving a flag and he's so pissed.
God, that was amazing.
The sheriff's like, look, he's actually patriotic. And then the sheriff gets a call by the Futtermans, which is the neighbors. They think they had an accident. They tell Billy to go back home. Billy's like, no, it's the gremlins. They're like, dude, like, you're drunk. Get out of here. Just go home and open some presents.
Let the drunk cops handle this.
Yeah. And then Stripe and some of the other people, they go to Mrs. Deagle's house. Ugh. She has this like stair elevator thing, which is really cool. If I had a big house, I would have that in my house.
They're real dangerous.
Are they?
Yes.
I would never have one as like an older person. I would only have it as a younger person, and I would probably just hurt myself.
Yeah, when you get that old, you just kind of have to swear off stairs.
Yeah.
Move downstairs, move houses.
It's like, I'll just rent up my upstairs.
Get a ranch style.
So she has like a bunch of cats. There's one named Dollar Bill.
Yeah,
come here, Dollar Bill.
That's kind of it. That kind of is cute that she has all these cats and like one's riding on her lap down those stairs.
Yeah, it's great, and it's like they always make like mean like older ladies, cat ladies, and it's like, dude, cats are just cool. Like anybody can own a cat. Like Dolores,
but she has more than one.
Like Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's like they made her like a crazy cat one, and it's like.
That was her only redeeming quality.
Yeah, it's like people can just like cats. They don't have to be evil. I mean, I guess Hermione had a cat, so it's okay. Anyways, she hears Christmas carolers, and she's like, she hates them.
I have to.
And I love it. She goes outside, and they're actually gremlins. What I love about it is they're actually trying. Because you see them holding the sheet music, and they're like looking up and down, trying to sing. It's so funny. And then we see another gremlin, like, because they're just there to distract, and then another gremlin's like messing with her stair chair. And she has this weird line where she's like, they've come for me. They're finally come for me.
She
and I'm
thinks they're like the death.
I don't know. I guess she thinks they're little demons.
Yeah.
Like in my notes, I was like, what? But she goes to get on her chair because, I mean, that's the best place to go in a horror movie is upstairs. See, the mom was correct. She's like the mom at the beginning, whenever she's fighting the gremlins, how smart she is. because once she destroys 3 of them, she grabs a knife and she's like, you know what? I'm grabbing 2 knives.
Yes.
Mrs. Deagle's like, I'm just gonna go upstairs.
That's where she keeps all her knives.
Yeah. But she uses her chair and it just like rockets out of the house.
Awesome.
The sheriff, they see it and they're like, was that Mrs. Deagle?
It just flies out the window.
I kind of wish the cops were like, she deserves it.
Yeah. I'm surprised she lived through that. Or did she?
I don't actually know if she did live.
I don't know.
We never see her again.
Yes, she probably died.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And then they see a Santa being attacked by gremlins. And there's one like messing with a car underneath. I love that the deputy's like, go, just get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. And then the sheriff's like, what's on them? What's on them? I'm like, and you just clearly see their face like, it's like, they're gremlins. You need to leave.
Or just shoot at them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so they're just like driving off. We see Pete being attacked by a bunch of gremlins. He's doing pretty good at holding them off. And then we see the sheriff and the deputy. They wreck because the gremlins cut their brakes. I'm assuming they're dead. And then Billy takes Gizmo and they drive off because they finally got his car to work. It just randomly decided to work in the middle of the night where it's even colder than it is during the day.
Yep.
While he's driving, we hear a radio show getting attacked by gremlins. Like everybody's calling in about gremlins. The guy's like, stop calling in about it. And then he gets attacked. What I didn't like is I thought that they should cut back later to the gremlins in a radio studio.
Yeah, like having their own little radio show.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing.
Billy's father is still trying to get a hold of his family. He's just, because he's at a
convention.
Earlier they called and like his mother's trying to use this weird walkie-talkie telephone thing.
Yes,
and I was like,
first cordless phone.
Stop using this stuff. But yeah, he's at like this invention thing. There's like a cowboy robot walking around.
Yeah, it looks like the robot from Lost in Space.
Yeah, and it's just like talking to him while he's on the phone. And it's like, dude, just leave this guy.
Well, like first there's a man dressed in cowboy garb.
Yeah,
and then later it cuts back to the robot wearing that same cowboy's hat.
Like, did he steal it?
He murdered that man and took his identity.
Yeah, but this time when we see the father, he's at this like car shop, and the owner is like smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Oh, I've noticed you're a smoker," and he tries to sell him a smokeless ashtray.
And apparently he does.
Yeah, and it does, but we'll see soon whether or not.
And what the hell was happening as he was leaving? Smoking like crazy.
Yeah, it seemed to.
It somehow set the metal on fire.
Exasperated the smoke. We see at the local tavern, we see Kate for some reason just serving all these gremlins. Yeah. I guess it's to save her life. I guess it's like they're just. I mean, they all have guns apparently. Probably held her up at gunpoint, said, "Give us beer and cigarettes."
Like the best bartender in the world.
She was doing a pretty good job. Yeah,
she's trying, and she's not getting paid.
I love it though because these boys are acting a fool.
They are awesome.
They're getting drunk as hell. One of them flashes Kate. This boy a pervert. They're playing arcade games.
Yeah.
You got one playing poker. And, I love it because they're all playing poker, and you have Stripe, and he's got like his one gremlin dressed up as a woman.
I love the little Ray Charles guy that turns on the radio.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Man.
But I love like in the poker match, like the girl like looks over at the other one's cards and he like whispers in Stripe's ears, and like Stripe has his cards up and just puts them down and shoots him. Like this entire time Stripe was just planning on shooting a guy. Then you see some of them bowling with billiard balls. It's great.
I want to go to this bar.
Yeah, it's
Gremlins.
Awesome. We see another gremlin start grooving to some jazz, and then one starts teasing him with puppets. It's so
oh my God,
funny.
So funny.
It's so good. I want all gremlins. I just want nothing but gremlins.
The gremlins smoking 3 cigarettes at a time, and Kate's like trying to light all his cigarettes.
Yeah, and you have one that's doing like parroting flash dance.
Oh, the flash dance. Yeah. Yes.
And then I love the one that's just hanging onto the ceiling fan, just like wow, 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 wow.
I feel like you got to have that one.
Yeah.
So these guys know how to party.
Yeah, they're wild. They're great. Kate tries to light a cigarette for one, but notices that they're getting scared of the fire, so she starts flashing them with a camera. And because of this, she's able to escape. She kind of kills a lot of them.
She could have just walked away.
There's one that like as she's getting to the door, you got one with like a like a ski mask on and like holding her at gunpoint, and somehow she dodges a bullet. Billy and her try to drive off, but of course now his car won't start. So they make a run for it, and it's complete chaos. Like you see a woman getting attacked and thing. There's just like all these cars on fire.
It's pandemonium, and I love it.
Crazy, man. How there isn't like 7 Gremlin movies, I'll never understand. So then they decide to go hide in the bank, and they walk in, and Kate's like, "I think the Gremlins have been here." It's like, Nadoy.
Everything is trash.
Yeah. So while they're trying to figure out what to do, Kate decides to tell them what happened on Christmas. I have the whole thing.
Oh, good.
All right. Kate, the worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. Oh, God. It was so horrible. It was Christmas Eve. I was 9 years old. Me and my mom decorating the tree, waiting for Dad to come home from work. A couple hours went by. Dad wasn't home. So Mom called the office. No answer. Christmas Day came and went, and still nothing. So the police began a search. 4 or 5 days went by. Neither one of us could eat or sleep. Everything was falling apart. It was snowing outside. The house was freezing, so I went to try to light up the fire. That was when I noticed the smell.
Oh, wow.
The firemen came and broke through the chimney top, and me and my mom were expecting them to pull out a dead cat or a bird, and instead they pulled out my father. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. He'd been climbing down the chimney, his arms loaded with presents. He was going to surprise us. He slipped and broke his neck. He died instantly. And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
I mean, what was your first hint? How big is your chimney first, by the way? What was your first hint that he was up there? Maybe like because the top half of his body is sticking out of it?
Dude, it's so... Great. No, I guess he fell like halfway through and just broke his neck and died.
It's too small.
They might have had a big one. I don't know, dude. Oh, it's the added line at the end. That's how I found it. That's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
Not that I lost my father, the fucking moron.
That's what she took from it, man. As a kid, that's her whole life. That's what she held on to.
Had he been doing this before?
I don't know. Maybe. I probably the first time in.
I got wasted at the bar you were serving him drinks at.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's wild.
12,000 people a year.
I can't wait till you watch Gremlins 2 because she has another monologue like this.
Oh, my other dad.
Yeah, because it's just like because Gremlins 2 is just a straight up parody of Gremlins. It's awesome. So now we're back to Randy. His smokeless ashtray didn't work. The entire place is on like just filled with smoke.
That's horrible.
Billy and Kate go back out into the streets, and
did he also invent the jump to conclusions, Matt?
He might have.
Or I feel
maybe
like
that was like his brother.
I think he only makes kitchen appliances.
No, well, no, because he made a phone and stuff. Yeah,
guys, they're all bad.
They're all. I mean, maybe they'd be cool things. He just doesn't. He doesn't have the artistic mind for it. It's like you have to make it look sleek and.
They looked pretty. I think the stuff that was in the kitchen looked kind of. It looked a little futuristic.
The egg thing did look kind of cool. The phone thing looked terrible.
The phone thing was.
The bathroom buddy looks terrible.
It's terrible.
The smokeless ashtray is great.
But like the juicer
it's
and
an impossible thing to make.
Yeah. They all match. They all had like a color scheme. And
yeah, definitely. I can see that. So Billy and Kate, they go back out into the streets. The whole place is run down. Even cars are on fire. There's no Gremlins out.
Zombie apocalypse going on.
Billy says they probably all went to hide because it's about to get light out. It's almost end of nighttime. They go into a movie theater and see a gremlin. They're all in the theater watching a movie. It's Snow White.
Yes.
And it's funny because, like, I love this because there's a bunch of gremlins messing with, like, the projector. And one gets stuck on the wheel and it's just like, spinning in circles. Yeah. So
and they finally figure it out.
Yeah. And then it's like they all start singing, hi-ho, hi-ho.
They're, like, all eating popcorn and snacks.
I love it because Billy's like, Kate's like, what are they doing? Billy says, they're watching Snow White and they love it. It's like, yeah, that's all you got to do is keep the movies going. Maybe they'll because a little later, Gizmo is obsessed with movies.
Yes,
that's the thing. That's what I love about Gremlins 2. There's a lot of like movie parodies.
He's a really nasty film critic, though.
So Billy and Kate and Gizmo go to the boiler room. Stripe leaves in the middle of the movie to find some food. He sees candy across the street at a department store. Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah,
and
huge.
So he goes over there. Billy decides to open a gas line so he can blow up the whole theater.
Yes.
But like, so for whatever reason, the projector cuts off, and so they notice like their shadows behind the screen.
That was a cool scene. How they did the shadows, I thought
yes,
was really
when
cool.
the gremlins are like going up to like rip on it, it's beautiful, absolute chef's kiss. So they're escaping, and they're able to escape just before the place explodes. All of them die, and honestly, I'm kind of not rooting for Billy anymore. I don't want Gremlins ever to die.
It was a cool way for them to die, though.
No, yeah, it rolls.
Yeah,
and they're like, "We did it. We killed them all." And Kate,
let's go make some more.
Kate turns around. Oh wait, there's the meanest of them all. Billy's like, "That's Stripe. That's the leader.
That's the Grim Daddy."
Kate's like, "You have to tell me all about this. I have no idea what's going on still."
He's like, well, "The worst thing that ever happened to me was."
And so they notice him, and Stripe's like, "I got to get out of here." And so they chase after him. We see Stripe. He's skateboarding around. Billy, he gives Gizmo to Kate, and Billy and Kate kiss. It's very like random. Like, he's like, "Here, take them. Find some light switches." I was like, "Wow, you can
never."
It's like, yeah, I guess let's just do it. He goes to find Stripe. Billy, armed with a baseball bat, starts looking. Stripe films himself on the TVs.
Yeah.
And he starts hitting all the TV. Kate finds some switches and just starts like hitting all of them. It's like, Kate, dude, like there's got to be a switch on some of these walls, you know? She's hitting
it's like,
everything.
It's turning on the lights and stuff.
Well, it's not even turning on the lights. It like turns on a fountain. It turns on the music. Just like random stuff. It's like, what is this control board even control?
I know. It looks like a really confusing control board.
It's
like
awful.
A lot of shit going on in this department store.
Yeah. So Kate accidentally turns on the fountain. Billy encounters Stripe, who attacks him and runs away again. Kate notices Gizmo has run out to help. Stripe starts firing baseballs at Billy and then fires, and then gets a crossbow and straight up tries. But my favorite, this part is so metal. Stripe picks up a chainsaw.
Yes.
They straight up coming at him.
And he pulls. It's an electric chainsaw.
And it's such a great shot because he's got it behind him, and then it's like a behind shot. Well, he's got it in front of him, and there's a behind shot with him walking with a chainsaw, and Billy's like, "Oh my god!"
He pulls up the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Shitty chainsaw.
He's about to get him, and then Gizmo gets into an RC car.
It's like a Barbie car. It's so cool.
And then Kate finally finds some lights. You know, she went to the breaker box, which is smart. This causes Stripe to get carried away by the chainsaw. I love it. He's like,
he's dragging him.
So good. So Stripe notices the fountain.
What was on that chainsaw? Because it had something attached to it.
It looked like a cord.
Wheels.
I thought it.
Well, no, like not just the cord, but on the sides of the chainsaw blade, there's these two things sticking out. One at the bottom of the blade, one at the top. And it's like wheels.
Oh, maybe that was how they could get it to roll. I didn't notice. I didn't notice it that.
Oh,
well,
it was just. I thought it was super obvious, but you know.
Whatever. Oh well. So Stripe, he notices the fountain and he sees a gun. We see Billy's father and dog. The dog runs into the store with his father following. Gizmo has the dog follow him. And Billy sees Stripe on the fountain, and Stripe starts shooting. Stripe puts his finger in the fountain and starts like.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't immediately just jump in the water.
Hop all in. Yeah, it'd been way better. Because he wanted to, I guess, be able to shoot him still.
I don't know.
And Gizmo flies in with his car and knocks Stripe down. Gizmo is able to open up a window shade, causing Stripe to start to melt, and it freaking looks like something out of Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's cool.
It reminds me of the first two Evil Deads. How it's all like claymation type.
Yeah, I need
thing.
to watch those too.
Yeah,
I thought that whole effect with him melting was awesome and gross.
Yeah, it's great. It's like this movie isn't. Well, we'll get there. It rolls. He's dead. Long live Gizmo! Billy checks on Stripe and his skeleton jumps out because there's always one more scare left in horror movies.
Do you think if Gizmo wanted a girlfriend that he would get himself wet with water?
Well,
and just like
all Mogwai are male.
They're all male?
Yeah, they're all male.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Do they get horny? Important question.
Well, Stripe did. I mean, he had one dressed up as a woman, so maybe.
Would it be considered?
Yeah,
incest if they just had sex with the things that came off his back?
Jason, I don't know.
I have important questions and I need answers.
I don't know. Well, man,
you're clearly not a professional.
I can't answer that question, Jason. I don't know the love lives of the Gremlins. You know, I will say this: Gremlins 2 might help you with that answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Seriously, I think it's already a double feature as Gremlins 2. I'm just like, I think I got 2 other movies, but obviously Gremlins 2. Billy checks. Oh wait, no, I already did that. So it's now officially Christmas morning. The family and Kate are watching the news. Gizmo is having his temperature taken, and it's cute. And then the Asian guy from the beginning walks back, just like comes in. He's like, "Hey, I'm back." He's very sweet to Gizmo. He lectures the dad and takes Gizmo. He says like they're not ready.
Do you think, as the dad, he should have been like, first of all, get out of my house. Second, you're not taking. Well, actually, probably wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah,
honestly. But if they really,
I don't think he wanted to get rid of it at all.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. You think he'd just be like, no, man, you can't take Gizmo.
Well, he threw the money back down. I think it was just, I guess it was just like, because he gives them the lecture. It's like, you guys do what you always do with society. It's like, you don't work with nature. This is why you are not responsible enough to have this. Because I love that it just becomes like.
When has that stopped anyone from buying anything?
Yeah, I know, right? But I do love that, like all of a sudden, because there's this whole talk of just like the neighbors, like, oh, foreigners and their parts and their gremlins. And like this guy just walks in. It's like, no, it's just the people in your society can't handle this and don't take care of things. And actually, like I guess people of Asian descent, we actually are able to handle this mythological creatures and stuff because, you know, we're not insane people who try to take everybody's property and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a whole like, here's all the morals at the end.
And I was just kind of blown away of how cool everybody was with him just walking in and taking it.
Hi, I'm here now.
It's mine again. Yeah. And then you find out that dude just walked there.
Yeah, he just walked. But before he leaves, we have Gizmo. He wants to say goodbye to Billy. Billy's like, you can understand him? And he's like, to only hear, you have to listen.
He speaks Cantonese. And
the Asian man tells him that maybe one day Billy will be ready to have a Gizmo. Dad gives him an ashtray. It's like, oh, this is very nice. Thank you.
Play with my Gizmo all
And
the
then
time.
he walks in and Gizmo's like, meow, 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 meow. In credits. Oh, it's so good though. Perfect.
I had so many laughs with this one. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, it's so good.
It's wonderful. It's the best.
Flash dance was my favorite part. I wish they would have gone a little bit further with the flash dance.
I know. It's like.
Maybe like a synchronized kind of,
dude,
I don't know.
Man, like I just can't wait for you to watch Gremlins 2. I've only seen it once. Well, no, I've seen it twice. And each time I was like, okay, this rips. I just hope I hope that you find it too. Hulk Hogan pops up. I mean, it gets wild.
That sounds amazing.
This is like back in the day, Hulk Hogan, when it's like, wow.
When he was all ripped and stuff?
Yeah, and he rules. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah, brother.
So we're going to go to our categories. The first one is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's where we talk about the good of the film, which is what we liked about the film. The bad, something we didn't like about the film. The ugly, something that didn't age well. The fine, something that did age well. What do you want to start? You want me to start?
What's good?
The good, Christmas horror comedies.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of these.
Yeah, you got like Krampus and...
Krampus is kind of funny.
Most of them are... Oh, Krampus is hilarious.
It's got some really great funny parts.
And it's got some great scares. It's definitely more of a horror movie than a...
Yeah. But yeah, you're right.
Comedy.
There are some really funny parts. So yeah, that's a good genre that I don't feel like it's explored.
They always try to have like one or two a year, and it just never really...
Is it kind of like the Hallmark edition of...
Well, you have the movie Silent Night that came out last year. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
But I've seen a few like Christmas horror movies, and it's always, I mean, other than like Black Christmas, there's just not too many. They go too hard on Christmas.
Some people go hard on Christmas.
It's just like, let's just have like Christmas as a setting and not so much as like I don't know. I don't know. I'm done. What do you got as good? What's your favorite part of the movie?
The bar scene.
The bar scene, yeah.
It's amazing.
It rips.
God.
Yeah.
They're just so good.
So I could play that on repeat. It's just like, man, that'd be such a crazy hang. You might die, but at least you just had the time of your life.
And I love puppets, especially these types of puppets. And it must have taken a lot of work to get it all that done. All those gremlins,
hundreds of models. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was so cool.
What do you think the bad is?
The bad, probably the parts where the gremlins were not in the movie. Shot.
Yeah, it's definitely the pacing. The pacing of the movie. This movie loves to show you people exiting buildings. Like it'll cut in the middle of like an action scene, and you see Billy running out of the school, and it's like,
I don't know. Before this, I didn't even know people left buildings.
Yeah, you're supposed to. We don't do this anymore. You just exit buildings now. And so the ugly. What was something that didn't age well?
Oh man.
Racism.
Yeah.
The neighbor just hating.
Yeah, people wanting to kill dogs painfully and slowly.
Yeah, that's like, dude, like everybody in that bank should have all just been like, you know what? Actually, we're throwing you out. Just take all our property. I hope you enjoy this town where no one's gonna want to live here because of you. Okay, we're all just moving. Yeah, enjoy your whole town.
But it's like as far as things like, there wasn't really any obvious racism. That was refreshing that they didn't like put the Asian dude on the spot with all that.
Yeah, I mean, is this kind of like your mystical Asian guy? Oh, we have this in every 80s movie. Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So the fine, I think it's obvious. The puppets.
The puppets were fine.
Like it aged well. Like. Again, if you're going to make a movie, have puppets in it. I don't know. Find a way. If you're going to make little creatures that just make sure you have puppets in them.
Happy Time Murder. What was it?
I haven't watched that.
What?
Yeah, it had like horrible reviews, and I was like, is this going to be good? But I really kind of want to watch it really badly. I think it's still on Netflix. I'll have to watch it. All right, we're going to go to our last category. It's double feature, where we recommend a movie, 2 or even 3 movies to watch alongside of this movie. Did you come up with anything?
Well, now that I think about it, it just gets me in the mood for puppets.
Yeah.
So watch the Happy Time Murder. I don't even know what it's called. I can't even think of it.
It's like the Happy Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders.
Yeah.
There we go.
I will have to check that out maybe today. Mine, I actually have 3. Gremlins 2, obviously. I've been talking about it this entire podcast
Hell
so far.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
The Burbs. Joe Dante directed it. It's just like it's like a great little silly horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it's a comedy. It's more comedy than horror. And then Drop Dead Fred.
Oh man.
Phoebe Cates is in it. She's great. She's
great.
Hilarious. She's such a ditz in it.
And
it's
didn't they come out with like a series about Drop Dead Fred in the 2000s?
I don't know actually. I have no idea.
I don't either. I want to say that something happened.
Oh, I love the guy that plays Drop Dead Fred. He's actually supposed to be in Harry Potter, actually.
No shit.
As what's the one ghost? They didn't have him in it at all.
Oh, I don't remember. I did read the books, but I can't remember.
All right, let's pause.
Everything about them.
I have to look it up. So he was gonna play Peeves, but he got kicked off set because every time he filmed, the child actors were constantly laughing at his antics.
Oh,
so they couldn't have it. Yeah, I didn't know that.
You're too funny.
Get
the fuck off the stage.
Right. So that's our episode on Gremlins. One of the best Christmas movies ever made.
I can't believe I hadn't seen it until
one of the number ones with a bullet. So thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
We have a please rate, review, like us, follow us, tell your friends. Seriously, comment and subscribe and rate. If rating and comments really boost up who sees our stuff, so please do on whatever you're listening to us on. Just recommend us to your friends. We also have a email now. It's at we recommend mailbag. We recommend mailbag@gmail.com. I don't know. Just tell us what you think about the movie we're covering, the next movie we're going to end up covering, and maybe we'll shout you out on it and read your email. We'll see. Once we start getting those in eventually. Yeah, go ahead.
What's our next movie?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I do. And join us for next week whenever we cover Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
What? The one with Gene Wilder?
Yeah, that one. It's the best one.
Yes.
It's like one of the best movies ever made. It has like one of the best songs ever made. We're doing that in celebration of the Wonka movie coming out on Netflix this week, the week that it comes out.
Wonka-tastic.
So yeah, join us for that. And follow us on our Linktree at Linktree / We Recommend Podcasts. You can follow us there to follow us on social media. You can also go there if you want to listen to us on a different platform. I'd also like to thank Joey Prosser for producing our intro. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And that's everything, right? Did I say at the end?
Don't put weird shit in the microwave.
Yeah, don't. Don't put a gremlin in the microwave, okay? Friend the Gremlins. Friend the Gremlins. And hopefully I can edit and release this video on time as long as no gremlins have messed up anything. But yeah, so come back next week when we do Willy Wonka.
Sweet.
This has been We Recommend Podcast. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Jason.
And to hear, one only has to listen. See you next week. Bye.
Yes.